Alright, so Jason's just been doing a lot of snatch work lately with kettlebell, trying to get to that CMS, Master of Sport level. But when it comes to a lot of volume, a lot of heavier training, we definitely get some tight areas. So I've noticed in a lot of kettlebell stuff, brachialis, brachioradialis, and your actual biceps to help control that internal and external rotation of your arm can tighten up the biceps, and we don't really realize what it does. So anyway, so what we're doing here is we've taken the Armaid trigger point and we're actually working on his bicep, like the upper part, middle part. Watch out, Penny, doesn't really need your help right now. But he's going through the motion of the kettlebell snatch and the rotations of his arm while we're working on that bicep. And there's 3 ball little attachment right there is really allowing him to get in between the different heads of the bicep. You can see how that's working. A little bit of the shoulder, the delt attachment. Now try to flex your arm a little bit as you do that. Slowly bring it up. And now rotate right about there. Try not to cry. The thing about this is mobility work and things, it doesn't matter how painful it is. We're not trying to get to a super high level of pain. If you can't breathe through it, it's too much, back off of it. Remember, it's like no pain, no gain. Is not a good thing. We're trying to help the tissue health, the fluidity of the joints, and it's in spots that you don't really think of. Some people think of kettlebell snatch, they're not thinking too much of their biceps. Remember, bicep across the elbow, they affect the shoulder. So if they're tight, they're going to affect a whole lot of range of motion, especially in a very fluid and a very dynamic exercise with multiple rotations such as the kettlebell snatch. It's not a barbell, so you're working on a transverse plane. There's a lot of rotation in the shoulder and lower arm. So anyway, so we're working with the Armaid. You can check that out a little bit more at armaid.com. But how's that feel?
I can tell it's loosening.
Yeah? Was it pretty painful when you first started doing it?
Yes.
I did a little bit, and I should be doing it almost every day. Because we used to, do bodybuilding training. There's probably a lot of curls that have happened in those arms, right? So what happens is we don't realize how tight that actually can make the fascia of the arm. And now you start doing stuff like, long, high intensity, long duration kettlebell snatches. Maybe try a little bit on the lower. Just take your time that it doesn't flip over that muscle. Pretty tough down there. Yes. Anyway, so there you go. Loosen up the bicep for better kettlebell or pulling, even pull-ups with the Armaid. How's that work? Try both arms overhead and see if there's any difference.
I can tell a difference.
Like, what do you feel?
More fluid, feels lighter.
Yep, good. That's what you want. Like a lot of times, if your arm if the appendage is feeling heavy, the muscles are usually overactive. They're usually kind of got the brakes on. It's like driving your car with the brakes on. So if you're going to snatch for 5 minutes on each arm and you have your emergency brake on, how much more effort are you have to put into it, right? It's not one time. A lot of people that are doing, say, Olympic lifting or short-term stuff, tension is you really, really want all that tension. And the tension is usually 100% of the lift. Now, with kettlebell sport, we're going in and out of tension, right? If we're tense in the times when we don't need to be tense, are we using a lot more energy? Heart rate's higher, right? blood pressure's higher, all sorts of stuff. So try, before you do that, try just move both arms at the same time and see if there's any difference. Really, or less.
I can feel it moving.
Okay.
It's looser. I can feel it moving on the arm.
Awesome. That's what we're looking for.